The girl was thrown onto the bed by a trafficker. Even if we struggle desperately, it won't help. Can only be bound by two people. The chubby guy among them is seeking excitement. After setting up the camera, he came to the girl's side. Then Curly injected the girl with a sedative. The girl fainted on the spot. This kind of thing happens every day. Human traffickers are also constantly updating their fraud methods. Once a girl falls into a wolf's den, the chances of being rescued are very slim, especially for those with good looks. Not usable, it will be bought away in a day. I only see human traffickers sitting leisurely on the sofa. Command his men to bring out a girl. After the buyer sees it, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. Immediately put the money on the table. At this point, the pretty guy suddenly hit a gun on his head. Originally, the traffickers were afraid that the handsome guy was an undercover agent sent by the police. If the handsome guy wants to take the girl away, we need to hide from the girl in front of the traffickers. Regarding this, the pretty guy's expression is very thought-provoking. I saw him roll up his sleeves, then unfasten your own belt. Yes. Less than 5 minutes, all the subordinates of the human traffickers were dealt with, only human traffickers shivering on the sofa. Originally, the handsome guy was not a buyer, but a special police officer responsible for apprehending human traffickers. I saw the handsome guy hanging the trafficker outside the window with a belt. Successfully asked. Tonight, a large number of girls will be transported to the New Jersey pier in the United States. The human trafficker thought he had truthfully confessed. Pretty guy will spare his life. But unexpectedly, because Liang Zai is a Thai police officer, no authority to interfere in internal affairs of the United States, can only quickly inform the US police of the news. Let the US police set up a net to arrest him. And the American detective Nick, who learned about this, led a large number of police officers to wait and see at the New Jersey pier that night, launch an attack on human traffickers. Due to the advantage of personnel quantity, the police cornered Bai Hu in less than 10 minutes. Not only did he kill Bai Hu's third son on the spot, and captured White Fox Nick alive, I thought that by capturing the biggest leader of human traffickers, Bai Hu, we could sell human beings, thoroughly strangle and rescue the girl from the container. But in fact, the container has now become hell. The scene before us is exactly the evil deeds committed by human traffickers. These girls were supposed to be bribed, unexpectedly suffocated in the container. Fortunately, the police have arrested the leader of human traffickers, Bai Hu, but I haven't waited for him to be severely punished yet. White Fox has already bought the way out. I was released on bail after less than a day in prison. The first thing White Fox did after being released from prison was to seek revenge from Nick, and at this point, Nick was completely unaware of this, waiting for him to reflect on his wife's anniversary at home. It's already too late. Don't eat. In sight, two figures came running from the White Fox. The other two sons seek revenge for their younger brother. They shot and killed Nick's wife. Then he also fired a few shots on Nick's body. Nick's daughter ran over at the sound. The two of them cornered Nick's daughter, followed by 2 gunshots. Nick fainted directly on the spot, waiting to wake up again, already lying in the emergency room. The officer on the side told Nick, his wife and daughter are both dead. White Fox was also released on bail. Nick is very unwilling. After the person next to you leaves, he pulled out the instrument from his body, walked to the mirror, teared off the gauze from his head. Then I came to the medicine cabinet. I took painkillers for myself, while there's no one watching. Leaving here, Nick returned home, discovered that there are still family photos in the house that have not been burned down. Carefully place the group photo in your pocket. Later, I came up to the stairs and took out a boxed box. Nick knows that relying on others is not enough. He is now relying on himself to avenge his wife and daughter. After loading the weapon, Nick came to a restaurant under the name of White Fox. Shoot and suppress one layer directly upon entering the door. After killing almost everything, I was forced to inquire about the whereabouts of White Tiger. Nick, who got the clue, turned around and left, and gave a grenade to the bar, because in his eyes, the people along with Bai Hu are all guilty. But it also turned Nick into a criminal, wanted by the police, and at this time Nick has arrived at the Thai airport, being pursued by Thai police. To avoid pursuit, Nick ran to the parking lot, trying to distract the police, but unexpectedly, he saw a scene that puzzled him. I was supposed to catch him together, and Big Black shot him with a gun. One of the Thai police officers also shot himself. Then he handed the gun to him. The handsome boy who heard the gunshot quickly ran back, but it's already too late. My brother is already dead. Nick put all the blame on Nick. Upon learning that the handsome young man, at this time was determined to avenge his brother, quickly chased Nick in the direction he fled. But at this point, Nick had already jumped onto the cargo box, and then he grabbed a motorcycle. But the handsome guy can only run and move forward. Nick drove Nick into the residential area. The handsome guy who caught up wants to use a gun to force Nick to stop, but the residential area is full of people. Pretty guy has no way to start. I can only rely on my previous memory to pursue beyond records, and successfully blocked Nick. But Nick didn't mean to stop. Instead, he increased the power of his motorcycle and rushed over. And the pretty guy doesn't mean to be afraid either. After getting up, Nick keeps retreating, because he wants to quickly seek revenge for his daughter. Just at this moment, a car passes by. Nick threw the pretty guy up there, sees the car and leave while the handsome guy's not paying attention. According to the line obtained by oneself, Sonic arrived at the Dolls Disco, and I learned from the informant that, at this moment, the pretty boy also arrived later. At this moment, Nick is pressing the director of the disco, and I have learned about the whereabouts of White Tiger's son from the supervisor, seeing that the handsome guy has already chased Nick and continued to escape, and took a worker as a hostage. Unexpectedly, they were secretly attacked by the worker's companions. Can only engage in another battle with the handsome guy. After a fight, Nick successfully captured the pistol, but he didn't kill the handsome guy, but it broke the light. Seized the opportunity to escape, hurry to the warehouse of Baihu's son. These are all girls who have been kidnapped and sold by human traffickers. The human traffickers patrolling outside heard the noise here, just walked in with a gun. I'm planning on committing misconduct against girls. But before he could get it, Nick Jang, who was hiding behind him, got down on the ground. The accomplice on the side saw this and wanted to sneak attack Nick. But he's not Nick's opponent. I was subdued by Nick in just a few moments, and then I lost my life. And the sound of Nick shooting. Naishi, attracting all the traffickers. Fortunately, Nick is a practitioner, with the help of dim lighting, easily dealt with all the human traffickers. Immediately after, Nick continues to search for White Tiger's son, Curly Hair. On the way to search, Nick saw a large number of kidnapped girls, at the same age as the flower, but the light in my eyes has already disappeared. Nick's heart suddenly felt a bit sour, because these children are of the same age as their own daughters. Nick released all the girls. Then I went to find Curly Hair, and at this point, the Curly Hair has already escaped to the outside. Not yet waiting to escape. I was killed by my own brother, because Curly Hair is a memory generator. It was their wife who came here. Nick saw the situation. Hurry up to stop it. But unexpectedly, human traffickers sent a large number of subordinates. It makes Nick, who is alone, a bit difficult to resist. Fortunately, the handsome guy arrived in time to help. To successfully resolve these people, Nick took the opportunity to ask Curly about his father's whereabouts. But at this moment, the pretty guy's gun suddenly hit Nick's head. So the pretty guy didn't just want to save one, but to personally avenge one's friends. Nick won't take responsibility for things he hasn't done before. I saw him firmly saying to the handsome boy, just as the pretty boy was skeptical. Nick hurriedly brought the pretty boy. Originally, it was Dahe hiding in the dark and sneaking in. At this moment, the pretty boy finally believed Nick. The two became partners. Nick continues to solve the successive thugs. Liang Zai is going to clean up Dahe. Big Black looks pretty, with a petite figure. Don't give a damn about the handsome guy at all. Even if you get a gun, choose melee. But I didn't expect that it was this frivolous enemy that caused him to be defeated by the handsome guy. Pretty guy interrogates Big Guy carefully. Only then did I realize that Dahe had already been bought by Baihu. And Dahe not only killed the pretty boy's friend, also informed Baihu about the fact that Liang Zai's girlfriend was an informant. At this moment, the handsome guy knows that his girlfriend must be unlucky. So he and Nick went together to the place where White Tiger was hiding. At this moment, the White Fox is insulting the pretty boy's girlfriend with language. Also ordered his second son to shoot him to death. But I haven't waited for my second son to pull the trigger yet. Was killed by the handsome boy who arrived in time, and Nick on the other side used a rocket launcher to assault the fleeing White Fox. White, but was not killed by the explosion. It's just a hand injury. He was covered up by his son. And Nick might as well take the initiative. Enter slaughter mode. White Fox eldest son saw Nick's fire pose so fierce. Hurry up and ask Father Baihu to board the plane and leave. I left cover for myself. I rushed into the tent to find my beautiful girlfriend as a hostage. But what he didn't expect was, the pretty girl's girlfriend has already escaped. Not only did he not successfully suppress it, instead, he was caught off guard by the handsome guy, returning on the spot. On the other side at this time, White Fox has already taken off on a plane. Nick quickly shot the driver with a gun upon seeing the situation, and successfully killed it. The plane that lost its pilot spun and landed on the spot. The White Fox was thrown out. Nick came forward to check on the situation, but unexpectedly, the White Fox was pretending, launched a counterattack on Nick, and secretly attacked Nick with a knife. Look at Nick's painful appearance and still remember to stimulate Nick with his daughter. My sweat droplets are dehydrate. At this moment, Nick realized that his daughter was still alive. This instantly filled Nick's body with strength. Launch a counterattack against the White Fox. But the White Fox died. I didn't tell Nick's daughter's whereabouts either. Nick is extremely desperate. After revenge, Nick and the handsome guy bid farewell, embarked on the path of returning to China. Continue to search for your daughter, because this is his only motivation to survive. Finally, the editor reminds everyone, be cautious when making friends, travel precautions, be vigilant at all times, don't give traffickers a chance.